was the people that played basketball and the people that played street ball, right? And it's funny because shout out to Buck call it basketball versus organized ball. I was like, anybody that called basketball organized ball and street ball basketball, like I can't have a conversation with them about basketball. But my point is this, right? Thinking, look back at it. Preach, we know a couple people that played varsity who couldn't get no tick, but if you caught them one-on-one at the park, they give you buckets, right? So I'm curious to y'all. We're 28. None of us went to the league. We all play high school ball. If you look back at it, which one would you rather have been? The good high school player, right? We were good high school players, right? Preach could have went and played maybe a little college ball if he wanted to.
For sure.
If I worked out and got in shape, I probably could have played a little D3, a little JUCO, right? I could shoot. But looking back at it, would you still want to be just a good high school player, or would you want to be like the 1-on-1, 21, 3-on-3 at the park, right? Somebody that pull up and get the respect on the street ball? Because, right, I could get somebody 30 in organized ball with screens and plays, but if we is street ball, we a little bit more equal. Which one would you rather be? Looking back on it.
I'll let y'all go first. Shout out Hoopers.
This is a tough question.
It is. It's very tough,
It's a tough question because the truth of the matter is it's low stakes, right? Because in theory, we're talking about people who did not necessarily go to play college ball. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what difference do it make, right? Some of your bag of shells.
Exactly.
But for me, I guess I'm biased, but I would always take organized ball, as some people would call it, or
basketball.
Yes, basketball. I would take basketball from this standpoint. It allows you to be versatile because after you get a well understanding of the game and you play that way and you get good coaching to some degree, like you can play in many different areas. And what I've learned is sometimes the street ball player, if you get to certain arenas, and what I mean arenas, just different when you play against different people, right? Like that game, it doesn't necessarily translate because it's a different game, right? If you play a pickup game and you play against college players, like some of the, like I've seen people, it's like, oh, yo, he can hoop, but then when they get into that, when they get there, it's like, yo, like all that stuff is done. Because generally is it's one move, two moves, and you got to get to your spot and make a play. So I mean, for me, I think I would definitely lean towards organized basketball, or the basketball that you would see in a regular setting as opposed to street ball, right? It has elements of the same thing in both, but one you could take everywhere with you, in my opinion.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. Right? I think it gives you a different level of respect when you're around hoopers, right? If we play against each other at the park, I don't look at you a certain way. But if we play and we battle in a real game with refs, right? When we see other people that play for East McKinley, right, it's always a mutual respect because we battle on the court. Versus people I see at the park, I'll say, what's up, bro? But I'm not looking at them as a hooper, but I'm looking at them as somebody I hooped against. And also, like I said, it's not like we went to the park and got lost.
No, not
right?
at all.
If our five went to the park, we were running the court. Right? We could run the court. But if those same five versus us five with a ref, coaches, organized balls, 48 minutes, right? We would beat them by 50 versus up to 12 is a little closer. So I think I would want to go organized ball. But it is of some value to Hiko, when you walk up to a park and they know you the street ball legend. There's some value to that.
No,
I think I'm a lean street ball in this conversation as far as, because if it's not really something you make in the craft and you not keep it pushing farther, I'm a lean street ball because I guess that can somewhat last longer, because that's gonna be like you're gonna play more of those games than you're gonna play organized ball. It's gonna be harder to get that organized ball thing off. But if the street ball, that's a park and a ball and your man's. You know what I mean? That's always going to be readily available. And you know what I mean? And it's so many more, not so many more, but it's more parks and it's more of that going around, more of that going on than organized ball with 5 and ref.
Well,
Especially a ref. You're not getting a ref. I mean, unless you're just not getting a ref.
But you know what though?
Yo,
You're not getting a ref. You know what I mean?
it's a pandemic. I'm looking for work, y'all.
Listen, I have to disagree to some degree, right? Because this, right? There are a lot of leagues out there. And I think as you get older, if you do play basketball, and you want to seek out and play basketball, obviously prior to the pandemic, it was a lot of leagues. Like the Healthy Buffalo League was one that was kind of, especially it was the over 40 Healthy Buffalo was fire, like fire. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if you go to a Healthy Buffalo Knights Columbus joint on a Monday night they used to play, you could see a game, and you could tell that it was a different level of gameplay because you had your what's the guy's name? Oh my god, he just went blank. One of the best players in Buffalo. He went overseas.
Jason Rowe.
No, J Rowe, and that whole team. It was like it's just a different level of respect. Now, granted,
J Rowe.
Granted, I know. I know. It is different. It is different. It is different. But at the same time, even that next tier of player that played in high school got that same respect as opposed to somebody who, was just like, he just who? You know what I'm saying? It's just a different feel when you get into that arena. And that's what I'm saying. Like when everybody come together, like the person who played high school and was good and went all high second team and had that 30-point game, or something like that. I mean, that may have been me, but but my point is when you compare that to somebody like Jalen. Tony.
Oh my god!
No disrespect to Tony at all. Like he got all his growth.
No. It's not Tony. I'm laughing at what the name Sam said.
Yeah, I didn't say that name. But
you were wilding with that.
I was. But you remember in high school, like everybody was like,
Dave Massey. I watched him beat Reese 1-on-1. Our best player. I watched him beat. He was a sophomore then.
Yeah, but we knew.
I watched him beat Reese. Yeah.
But we knew then that 1-on-1 doesn't mean anything, right? Like you find that out early in life. But it's funny that y'all bring this topic up because this like Mike had kind of just put that in there. I was at the shop. I get my haircut, and like Delano was there, and Rad, Delano went to play for the Vets, went to St. Francis, went on Ohio State, played at UB or whatever, yada yada yada. But it was just I was talking to him, and like we was reminiscing on like Little League and just how like certain players just fell by the wayside, right? And how that was so easy in Buffalo. And like when you brought up that topic to, a person that played in high school to a person that played, it's like the street ball person, you know what I mean? Like, yo, he nice. It's like, it's kind of funny because it's different from basketball and football. Because in football, there's no really such thing as street ball. Like I know Mike always talk about on Cortland, he was the nicest out there. Yeah.
I was the Travis Kelce back in the day.
Yeah. So, but like in football, it's like kind of that dynamic is Little League versus high school, right? That's how we look at it. And if you ask anybody, like I'm assuming they would take high school over Little League. But like when we had that conversation, we was talking about it. Like we named all the players. I'm not gonna name everybody because I don't know what's going on with them right now. But like, you know what I'm saying? And we talked about, how
boys.
Yeah, it was boys, but a lot of them did not translate or whatever happened. They just said, thumbs down on high school, whatever the situation was. But it's just an interesting conversation when you look back on it like some years later.
No, I think you're right because I hear about the I didn't play Little League, but I hear about the Little League legends all the time than people talk about people that was nice in high school. So
you do. Like, I mean, we named
way more people played Little League.
High school, absolutely.
It was literally like way more people played. At high school, I mean, it's tough though. I mean, at high school it got tough. I'm not gonna hold you. It got tough. Some people just, it was different. Like you wasn't getting catered to as much. Some people did, don't get me wrong. But Little League, it was like coaches come pick up people, paying for your equipment, come pick you up. Throwing you bread and stuff like that. Like, shout out to Mookie.
Because Oh, never mind.
He's
I
trying to
was
woo
gonna say
He's trying to woo me mad times, but
no,
yeah, but high
the
school's
coach,
different.
coaches only giving me money because they sliding with Mom Dukes later. Come on, man.
Well, that's
You gonna
whole
do-
nother
I never
issue.
got
I-
money.
I
I
don't
never
know.
got money.
See,
I never
I
got money.
got my
But people did.
yeah, I got
people
my stuff
did.
paid for. I
Yeah,
got my,
people. Oh my god!
shout out
Oh
to
my
Chris if you out there listen. I don't know, but Coach Chris, he was actually a good coach. But no, but like it's funny. But the thing about it is too though, it's sad. It's a sad indictment too. I will say this: the powers that be to let all those kids fall through the cracks. And I don't know who to. I don't know who is to blame. But like when you look at it, it's crazy, man.
Bro, my freshman year, right? My freshman year, I was like, I want to play for Hashtag. I want to play for my high school, and I didn't show up for Little League. You know what I mean? I did not show up for Little League. My coach come to my house trying to get me to come play Little League. He's like, bro, you too small for high school. Like that's what he told me, and I'm not small. Like my freshman year, I'm one of the biggest freshmen.
I thought
in
I
the
was
school.
junior.
I'm 5'10", 200, 210 or whatever. I don't know, but like I'm not small. You know what I mean? I'm like a good size for a high school. And he tried to discourage me to come back and play for him. So it was probably a lot of that. A lot of people like not trying to let players go, trying to be selfish. A lot of coaches being selfish, telling you to play Little League, trying to get you to, you know what I mean, doing mad stuff. But I didn't do that. My parents wasn't going for that. I did what I wanted to do, and I played Little League, and I actually made varsity. I mean, I played high school, and I actually made varsity. So, but if I listened to that, I might have been dominant in Little League, though. I probably would have been dominant. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it is what it is. But it helped me my growth and all that type of stuff. So I know coaches for sure do stuff like that to players, especially good players.
I know we talked about this on the show before, I think, but I swear I remember going to a Vets Wolves game and seeing Mark at quarterback. I was like, yo, Mark, I know you drove here, bro. Out this game. Like, I was
That's a fact, bro.
Rest in, and we talked about Mark too, man.
Yeah,
Shout out to Mark, man.
Shout out to Mark. Shout out.
Remember them regular days when there wasn't no more watches for me. Now the money keep calling for me. I'm feeling like everyone plotting on me. Gotta pray for my people to block where they stay, and I know they all counting on me. To go, we going straight to the top. You can't never look down on the streets. Remember them regular days when there wasn't no more watches for me. Now the money keep calling for me. I'm feeling like everyone plotting on me. Gotta pray for my people to block where they stay, and I